Dunkirk is written and directed by the one and only Christopher Nolan, and it's the true story about the evacuation of 400,000 men who are stranded at Dunkirk during World War II while the Nazis try to kill them. Their ships getting blown up, aerial dogfights, and a lot of other intense moments. Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors working today, and not just because of the Dark Knight trilogy, but because he's one of those filmmakers that doesn't bullshit around with his movies. I'll be honest, I haven't seen every movie he's made, but the ones that I have seen are really great. And so, of course, I was really excited to see this movie, even though I'm not really big into war movies. Now, I don't hate war movies. They're just not really my go-to movies when I want to watch something. And yet again, Christopher Nolan has made a really great and intense movie that, in my opinion, could just be one of the best movies he's ever made. Something that interested me about the movie is that how realistic it felt. To my knowledge, everything was done on location, in camera, and just the way the movie was put together, it feels so realistic, even though it's a PG-13 movie. You know, there isn't a lot of blood, there isn't limbs flying all over like Saving Private Ryan did. You know, that movie, because of that, was so realistic. But this one's realistic because you actually feel like you're there in the moment, and it really paid off. And something I noticed is that there's no real character to get behind during this evacuation throughout the movie. We follow a lot of different people around who are going through different things throughout this event, but in the end, it all circles around the event itself, and that's what the movie's based on. From the opening scene to the end of the movie, it's just right in it. Like, there's no scenes where the characters are sitting around and they're talking about each other and we, get to know their backstory. That could be a bad thing, and in this movie, I wouldn't necessarily call it a bad thing, because it's not the main focus of the movie. The main focus, like I said, is about the evacuation itself. We follow certain people on the beach, we follow certain people in the water, on their boats, and in the planes, so it's a lot of people to follow around, so I can kind of understand why there's not a lot of time dedicated to know these characters. It kind of bothered me that we didn't, but I can honestly do without it, because like I said, it's not the main focus of the movie. I just wish that we would have gotten a little more of it. There's also a lot of really intense and emotional scenes throughout the movie that honestly I wasn't really expecting myself. Christopher Nolan did such a great job making this movie. It's kind of beyond my expectations what the final product of the movie is. And it really paid off. Like I said, I think this is one of his best movies he's ever made. I'm going to give Dunkirk 4.5 stars. If you guys are going to go see this movie, I recommend seeing it on the big screen. You know, if you don't, I feel like you're going to miss out on a lot of the stuff that really makes this movie an experience for moviegoers. That might sound kind of weird and corny, but it's the truth. So when you guys see Dunkirk, let me know what you think of it in the comment section below. And what's your favorite Christopher Nolan film and your favorite war film? For me, my favorite Christopher Nolan film, it has to be The Dark Knight. It's kind of a cliche thing to say, but it's whatever. And for war film, probably Saving Private Ryan. Yeah, that sounds about right. And if you like this video, then go ahead and subscribe right here to check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time.